Hi, good day. I'm Elijah, and here are some quick Figma tips that helps you work faster when working on Figma. So number one is masking icons. So let's say you have this nice icon that you really love, and you could not get using a plugin on Figma which would provide that icon for you as an SVG file, and you're able to edit the color. So now you are able to get that icon somewhere else in PNG, and you don't know how to use Photoshop, you don't know how to use Illustrator to edit the colors. You can easily just mask a shape over this icon to change the color. So grab your rectangle tool and draw a shape over that icon, and make sure the icon is below the rectangle. So grab both the icon and the rectangle and click on use as mask. So now the icon would automatically take the shape, the color of the shape, and of course you can change the color of that shape to change the color of your icon as you would love it. And tip number two is working with auto layouts. So we all know how important it is to arrange and align our elements when working on designs. So auto layout makes it very easy for you to get that done. So say you have a couple of shapes on your design, and you can easily just grab those two or more shapes and click on add auto layout. So once you do that, a couple of things you can get done here. So the first thing you can do is to rearrange the elements. Say this has a different color, so you can easily just swap between those, and you don't have to worry about is this aligned, is the spacing between them still consistent. Auto layout just helps you keep that constant. You can duplicate the elements and it just populates throughout your design, and the spacing is still intact. You can also rearrange. Another helpful way this auto layout helps is you can rearrange those elements vertically or horizontally, which is really cool. There are so many other features auto layouts provides for you. The other tip is just like an alternative to auto layout. I've seen designers complain about how hard auto layout is and how hard it is to use. No problem. There's this is like an alternative that you can quickly use, though it doesn't provide much features as auto layouts, but of course this can also come in handy when you are working on a project. So you can just, to use this tool, you can just highlight all the elements you want to probably rearrange or change the spacing in between them. So there's a side to this. If the elements are not already evenly distributed, if they don't have the same spacing, you won't be able to use this tool. And that's why once you click on once you highlight all of those elements, you see this button here. So once you click on the button, it automatically equalize the spacing in between them, and once you do that, you would notice this circle, this little circle in between each of your elements and this line. So this helps you control the spacing in between those elements, and the dots helps you rearrange those elements. And just like auto layout, you don't have to worry about if it is still aligned or if they are evenly spaced out. It just helps you do that, but it's just limited to these two things. So auto layout is still the best. And the third tip is the third tips help you to check if your elements are aligned on the left and right side of your frame. I mean, just like you want to see if it's equal, if your elements are at the center of your frames. So now we all know how important this is when it comes to design as well. Alignments, spacings, and all of those things. So this would help you without having to go through the stress of using layout grid. Of course, layout grid is very important, but these are just some quick tips that helps you easily check to confirm if your elements, because there are some elements on your designs that might not sit on the both left and right of your margin when working with layout grid, right? So you just want to have this extra assurance that your designs are at the center of your design. So what you do is make sure that element is selected, and then you hold Option or Alt key on your keyboard and then move a little bit outside of that element, and you just see this quick numbers. So this says it's 77 pixels to the left and 61 pixels to the right, 211 pixels to the top and 541 pixels to the bottom. So now you want to place this at the center. You want this element to be at the center, left and right. So you can, while still holding Option or Alt button on your keyboard, you can just use your navigation key on your keyboard to move your element until now we have 69 on the left, 69 on the right. And also you can make use of the new dev mode on Figma to easily do this without having to hold your Option or Alt key. So once you switch to dev mode right here and click on your elements, it just automatically shows the information that you need. And if you have lots of elements on your frame, it just kind of shows you a lot of information about the elements, how it's aligned, how it's arranged on your design, which is really cool. And then the last thing is copying and pasting of styles and prototype links on your designs. And I find this really helpful, because when you are working on large projects, you there are some prototype links that are very similar. I mean, when you click on a button, they have the same interaction with each other, and you don't want to start linking each of these interactions together, right? So what you can just do easily is you create your prototype for one of those links. So when you click on next for these three screens, it opens this same modal, and you don't want to start linking each of those things together, right? So just link one of the screens and do every settings you want. So we want this to open this overlay, and we want this overlay to move in from the bottom of the screen, and we want to also add a background of 50%. So when we play this, we see how this looks. So we want this to sit at the bottom, right? So now we see how this looks. So now we've been able to do a couple of settings here, and we don't want to start doing all of this setting all over again. So what you can do is to click on this prototype link and then go to your property panel, and just on the left hand side of this interaction, make sure you click on it and it's selected. Then you can hit Command C or Control C on your keyboard to copy that particular prototype link, and then you can click on any frame that has that same interaction. It might be 5 frames, it might be 10 frames, as you would want. Then make sure they are all selected, and then you hit Command or Control V on your keyboard, and all of those frames would automatically have that same interaction, and it saves you a whole lot of time. You don't have to start doing all of those settings all over again. And this also works when you are working with styles and colors and effects as well. So you add a drop shadow, for instance, on this particular frame, on this particular rectangle, and you want to use that same frame here. Of course, you can go ahead and save styles, save this effect as a style, and also you can just click on this particular style and hit Command or Control C on your keyboard, go to this other one and just paste it right there, and very quickly you can copy and paste those styles, those colors, effects and prototype links. I hope this was helpful. Just try using these tips when working on your next project, and it would save you a whole lot of time. Thank you.